It's showtime, baby.
So you think you could work with me for, say, 86 years?
Tim, I will die on that hill.
Could you imagine taking a $150,000 loss? Hi, I'm Tim Somerville.
And I'm Michael Dempsey, and this is Off the Market with good old Team Somerville.
So,
What's shake? You know what? Actually, I got something for you here.
you got something?
Yeah,
Oh,
on YouTube.
we'll see you. Yes, here we go.
Happy summer!
That's right.
That's right. Time to dust off the barbecue.
Yeah, and
Take
you know
the
what?
top off that Jeep.
These glasses.
Yes.
Come to the sand sculpture contest to get your own.
If you're watching us on YouTube, Tim just ordered a bunch of these bad boys in. If you're not watching, you're listening, well, you're going to have to come to Sam Sculpture to see what color they are.
Do you know, I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a realtor from Ontario that was in Baja that had brought one of our frisbees that we had given out beforehand.
No way.
So it was kind of neat to see some of our swag going from here to there to everywhere. So it was kind of cool.
I always take some swag when we're away. Like we're on doing charity hikes, things like that, to see these people of different cultures, and they're pretty. They love the swag.
Perfect.
Yeah. So again, happy summer to everybody. You made it through the school year. You made it through.
That's right.
Getting the kids there late. And anyways, I'm sure it's been a tough year for a lot of us.
Nice.
We did it. We made it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to talk about, in the past, Tim and I have given you great advice on how to get your home ready for us to show up and get that listed for you.
Okay.
A lot of that same advice kind of filters over to when it's time to show your home. And so I know in this day and age, when we're showing your homes, there tends to be a lot of showings. You may have 4, 5, 6 in one day. And I always say, a little bit of pain. It sucks having that many shows.
Well, I know.
But it will be worth it when we sit down and go through the offers with you. So you get a call, maybe from Tim, myself, maybe from one of our admins saying, hey, we got somebody that wants to show your home. Here are some notes to kind of, get your home ready for it. So I love when clients leave notes, whether it's our clients, someone else's clients.
Yes.
Seller leaves little notes, just little tidbits of information is really helpful. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to jump in.
Well, I will.
Okay.
Because here's the great thing about that. Never put a document there that says, welcome to our home, because it's not going to be your home much longer. So if you live at 123 Main Street, you say, welcome to 123 Main Street, and make copies of it. Maybe say, please take one. And then maybe enhance the items that they can't see. No reason to put hardwood floors. They're standing on them. Nice kitchen. They're seeing the nice kitchen. Talk about the neighbors. Talk about maybe some of the landscaping that you have that they may not be able to see just yet. Maybe talk about where your mail comes and different things like that. Even the average power bill. Give them a reason to take that so that when they leave, they even have more information on your home.
That is fantastic advice. Yeah. So when we see those notes, one, we always show open a door and they got a note on the exterior door and it says, don't let the cat out. That's great. That tells me that I need to go into goalie mode. And when I open that front door, I gotta make sure Sprinkles doesn't take a dart.
Got it.
And other notes we see are just little things. Like sometimes we haven't seen it yet, but let's say something kind of broke. Like I sold a house the other day and the daughter accidentally messed up the kitchen faucet.
Okay.
So you go to turn it on and it sprays.
Oh, yes, of course.
Right. So they left us a note and it said, hey, the faucet got broke. We're going to fix it before you close on the house. Look, that's great. That's great to know, because having not had that note, flicked it on, we're like, oh, that's one more thing we got to fix.
No, I agree. I agree. And of course, if the note's not there, of course, if you did turn it on, now you feel like, oh my goodness, did we just break this? So yeah, no, it's nice to have those, I guess you could say, precautionary measures as a vendor to make sure that anybody walking into your home is just a little more prepared to, on what they're going to find.
So let's say you have a showing and you're only going to step out for that one showing, then you're coming right back home. Some great things to do would be leave all the lights on for us.
Yeah, so
we're not going to be there very long, but it saves on time. We could be potentially carpooling or whatever, going from house to house to house, showing homes. And when we show up, all the lights are already on and ready for us.
Great.
It really,
well, it enhances the house.
Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah, enhances
the house.
You never know if it's cloudy. It could have been sunny when you left, but now it could be raining. So,
absolutely.
So it definitely does.
And it's less awkward when I go through the door and I'm like, well, let me hit some lights. You check out the kitchen. I like to be there present with you, right? And go through the home.
I agree.
So yeah, smells are important. I always talk about it plenty of times. I'm not asking you to put in some of those scentsy things.
No.
Some of them can be overbearing.
Yeah. But this time of year, even having some of the windows open.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fresh air.
Yeah, fresh air. We were at a listing the other day, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave the windows open for you." That's great. Get some fresh air in.
That's right.
Because we can become nose blind to some of our day-to-day things, our dogs, our cats,
Oh,
all this
yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Curtains, blinds, open.
Yes.
For me, again, it's a personal thing. I don't like going into your home and you have a dark bedroom. I don't like messing with your blinds. What if I go to pull them up? They fall down and
Oh
break.
my
I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion. I would rather not maneuver your personal items that much. If you got the curtains open for me, curtains is easy, but I find blinds sometimes can be finicky. They might fall down. And I'm like,
Okay. I agree.
yeah. And then just little things like if you could keep as much of your countertop space clean, clear.
That's right.
You have to live into your home, but if you have the option to hide that air fryer, hide the toaster,
That's right.
little things like that. The best, oh, sorry, go.
Less is more, right?
Less is more.
Less is more.
The best advice we try to give is we want people to think it's their house. So, like you said, less is more. Yeah. A little quick wipe with the sinks. I just made a couple notes here.
Sure.
And again, when we pull up to your home, curb appeal is pretty darn important.
right.
And I know Tim has spoken to that in past episodes.
Yes.
It's that time of year when you can. I know it's hard, but go for a quick mow a
Yes.
lawn.
Oh, yes.
Pick up any junk that might have, accidentally blown into your yard.
Well, and even hanging baskets or even flowers. What many people are doing now is they'll go to Michael's, not Kent or any of those. They'll go to Michael's. They'll get some real nice plastic flowers. They'll put the plastic flowers there. You don't have to worry about the weeds or watering or this or that. And they can still look really good in those, of course, those flower planters and everything else. So there are ways of doing it at an affordable price and yet still keep that beautiful flow. And again, first 15 seconds is important. So a little bit of color outside is just as important as what you're doing inside.
Absolutely. And overall, and I know we said it before, we need to make it look less lived in. That's all. I know it sounds like a weird concept, but we've been in lots of homes where we're like, wow, do they even live here? Because they're just so clean and immaculate.
Oh, showroom condition.
Again, you got kids, you've got sports. It's not always an option, but it's just good advice that we want to pass forward.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And when we're showing your home, you might have noticed in some properties, we have this blue key box.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's either, we try to hang it on the electrical meter, maybe on a light fixture, something that's out of the way. Yeah, sometimes it's on the door if it doesn't hinder too much. Maybe you're not on the front door, but you all use the back door, so it's not going to bother you.
You got
What is that blue box? Well, every real estate professional has a digital code that they would use to enter that lockbox to get access to your home.
correct.
So I want you to know that you're protected in the aspects of as soon as that key box opens, Tim knows who's showing your house. Mr. knows what time. He even knows what time they put the key box back in. And so, heaven forbid, and again, if something weird was to happen, we could have a great record of anybody that's come and gone in your home, help narrow down. Like I said, not too often something comes up, but it's good to know that we have your interests, at best of heart. Like we want to make sure, everyone coming and going. And you're protected. Now, I don't think we've got the CEO of Supra watching our podcast yet, but here's a little advice. We need bigger lock boxes when we're showing multifamily homes. We have a lot of keys, and it's just one of those things you show up and you've got a key ring, you're looking like a janitor, and you're around to figure out which key goes there.
Goodness, it's crazy.
I would love to have a bigger key box for those.
Okay.
So I'll just throw that out.
Okay. Point well taken. We'll make sure that the powers that be says it too.
Again, yes, so those lock boxes protect you, and I got to be honest with you, technology is great, except when it fails.
That's right.
So I think it was about last week, we just had a little bit of a snafu, if you will, where our digital locks weren't opening for us.
That's right.
Now, the board is very helpful. We're able to get some emergency codes, but I just felt a little silly when I showed up, and I'm like, this isn't working.
I know. Like they say, technology is great when it works. When it works.
Yeah. So that was my little piece on getting your home ready for the showings.
Okay.
Let's jump over you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to start off the market. I was thinking the other day, I was watching this, I was reading this article on this gentleman who was with the same company for over 80 years. 86 bloody years with the same company. Started when he was 15. He's in the Guinness Book World Records. And why I got into that was I was wondering, the average realtor, how long is the average realtor? And again,
Don't we have a couple of realtors in our
yeah, here we go. The average realtor is 2 to 5 years. They say after 5 years, they call you a lifer. So I don't know what they call this Walter Orthman guy that was with the same company. He was a dedicated, good word, sales manager for a textile company. But the unique thing was he started at 15, he worked till he was 101, died at 102. Right? It's like, hey,
You should have stopped
sure,
working.
I'm thinking that's it right there.
That's what kept it going.
Oh, look, everybody needs a purpose, right? So it was unique to look at some of that, and I was getting into that because I was reading also about our unemployment rate, and I was trying to compare our unemployment rate with other countries, especially, of course, our people, our neighbors down south. So right now we're hovering near 6.5. We were close to 7. We're about 6.6 was the last posting, and I looked at that and I thought, okay, it's going in the right direction. It's going down at this time. But then I looked at the states, and with everything that's going on there, their unemployment rate right now is in the fours. And I'm thinking, okay, that's a pretty big difference for from us. Then I looked at some of the other countries that I like to compare us with, like France and Norway and so forth. And again, what I believe is the fact that, again, with everything that's going on, the amount of trades that we could be really focusing on right now, I think could really help bring that unemployment rate down even more. But looking at the longevity, they said that most careers are anywhere up to about 9.8 years. So your average career is 9.8. So yes, teachers are longer. Their teachers are about 14 years, and doctors are longer, and everything else. And they say that the average person will work 42 years in their life. So
42.
40. I started.
Yeah.
I was delivering papers at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, working at
You got
station
retired 4 years ago?
Yeah, you think so? So, but one thing I know is that when we look at unemployment and we look at careers, again, this really affects real estate here for us. Because, of course, the longer you're in a career, of course, usually benefits, higher income, and everything else comes with that. And with that, of course, hopefully the change of homes. And so, again, I remember seeing this article, which I went back to, about the hottest places to buy in Canada. Okay. But before I get into that, I have to ask you, your parents,
Yes.
or someone, do you know somebody that's somewhat a lifer with with business or with their occupation?
Well, there's you.
Yeah, well, me. Thanks a lot. Here we go. Thanks, Rip Van Winkle here.
No, honestly, dad, growing up, dad kind of kept the same baseline
Yeah.
throughout his
Right.
yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at is years past.
Yes.
When you were in a position, you stayed with that company.
Absolutely.
You did this, you did this. And in the article that I was reading, they were talking about the generational gaps on, of course, the younger generations. I know they haven't been in the workforce very long, but just I guess you could say, the idea of sticking to one field or one occupation or one type of career, right? They're constantly trying to determine what they want to do, and for us, or for many, that was already decided, right? That was decided, and this is what I'm doing. There are many people out there now. It's like, I don't know. See what tomorrow brings, or see what next year brings. So it's different. So it definitely does affect our market, I find.
Absolutely. And like you said, many years ago, let's say your dad got a job at the plant,
Yeah.
sawmill,
Oh, yeah.
steel plant, whatever.
Yeah.
That was it. Showed up every day, did the same thing, or eat the same thing for lunch every day.
That's right.
And worked their butts off, and then
That's right.
retired.
Retired at some point. Hopefully not after 86
Basically, wonders,
years.
are there those types of positions still out there?
That's what, when you look at a lot of these trades. I was with a client this morning showing a property, and both of his sons are working in Vancouver, and they work on a fjord, and they do it's just, what I'm saying is that there's still definitely fields out there that, again, they pay well, they do this, they do that. I just think that Canada, again, has to get back into some of that, because it would be nice to see the longevity of some of these careers. All right. So saying that, I'm going to roll that right in to real estate, like I said. So the hottest places to buy, and I couldn't get over it. Top 4 in Canada that they advised in this article. This was the national ranking for 2026. Fredericton was number 1.
Really?
Fredericton was number 1. St. John was in the top 4. We had St. John's, Newfoundland, and Edmonton in between us. And Edmonton used to be, of course, It was bang, crazy, bing, bang, boom. And of course, they really had that mark where they slowed down, and you can see that they're ramping up again. But what I couldn't get over was the 1, 3, and 5 year trends on percentages of, increased growth in your home. So they had it, which you being a stats man, St. John had their approximate value of a home, 340. So that's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close, right? So with St. John, they said 1 year growth, 9%. Fredericton was 10. Okay. And that's not far off.
No.
I don't think that's far off. 3 year growth would be 22% for us, 21% for Fredericton. Now let's bring Moncton into this. Moncton was in the top 11, so they were 11th, and their 1 and 3 year was a little different than ours. So where we were double digits with Fredericton on that, right? When we look at Moncton, we were at 3% first year, then 12% after 3. But here's the crazy number. Let's do the 5 year. So 5 year term, 5 year growth for Fredericton, 74%. St. John, 76%. But the crazy number for me was Moncton was 93%. In 5 years when you buy in Moncton.
Their house has doubled.
Oh, yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah, 100%. And then what I couldn't get over, because that's one broad part of the scope, right? I wanted to see the other. So Ontario's been hit real hard in some of their markets. So I was looking at some of the ones there. Greater Toronto, overall 3 year depreciation, 156,000. Could you imagine taking $150,000 less for your home in 3 years?
Absolutely not.
Uh,
It makes me sick.
oh,
My
oh,
heart goes out to the
no.
individuals.
Yeah, Mississauga was $165,000 less in 3 years. So when we talk about our markets, and I mean, listen, I know that we had a very strong market because we had a lot of Ontario buyers coming. Well, if any of those buyers had bought during the heyday, right?
Yeah.
And now they're taking this type of drop, I don't know if they'll ever go to the values that they want to see it. So at some point, you just have to, I hate to say it, you have to have that gut punch and say, okay, we're going to make this move. When we make this move, we're going to go to, say New Brunswick. And at the end of the day, the averages is what's different. So I talked about the averages there. So Mississauga with the average is still over $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. Now, one thing they don't tell you is, in Mississauga, that $1 million home, how big a yard do you think you'll have? How much square footage?
20 feet.
Right. So at the end of the day, that's the hard part. Yeah. The hard part is that when we talk about areas to buy, and we know that Fredericton and St. John are in the top 4 in all of Canada, it's not based on just the price today. It's what they are predicting in 1, 3, and 5 years from now. So that's what excites me. Yeah. Excites me that when we are still in multiple offers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And our market's still pretty strong.
Still very strong.
Inventory
is still a little low, but
it's starting to get better. We're in that spring-summer market where things are starting to come. And definitely our market time is changing. Yes. Right? Again, but when we put all that into perspective and somebody buys, and I have this type of information to give to my buyer, I understand it's not a crystal ball, but if you saw the amount of, I guess you could say, data that goes into this, it goes to show that it's not just, well, this is what we think. They have put a lot of thought into major markets in Canada and where they feel, again, the trends are. And so it's nice to know we're there.
Yeah. And do you have any advice for the buyers in our region that are waiting for the market to crash?
Yeah, guess what? That's not going to happen.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the statistics that all the research that Tim has done on this topic. Yes. And if you're waiting for the market to crash, well, don't hold your breath.
No, well, and that's the hard part, because there are going to be some homes that may change value in negatively, but there are probably reasons. One main reason is right back to what I said about Ontario a few years ago. There were people that purchased here above what they should have. But we also believe, and Michael, you and I have talked about this, every year you own your home, you should be spending money on your home. You need to be reinvesting in your home, even if you don't think it needs it. And many of these people that bought at a higher price and they've owned it now 3 to 5 years and now they go to sell it and they haven't done anything, that's where we're seeing it. We're seeing a lost value because at the end of the day, yes, you paid at a high, but you haven't reinvested in almost everything you do.
It's true.
Yeah.
Even something simple as switch over to maybe a bit more modern light fixtures.
True.
It goes a long way.
Oh, I agree. Color of the door, do the landscaping outside, just ways that the next person has seen that the pride of ownership is definitely there.
That's true.
Well, you were talking about it earlier, right? In this podcast, you were saying, hey, guess what? Here are some of the things that you could do. And those are basic things that actually don't even cost you money.
No.
Right? And you would be surprised that if you don't do anything, that's when items will creep up, and the items that will creep up are not going to be cheap. Okay, so stay on it. Understand that we think that is still a great, tremendous market to consider St. John, Fredericton, Moncton, especially if you're doing a buy and hold strategy, which means that you know that you're going to hold it at least 3 to 5 years. And if you do that, guess what? You should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Those numbers are astronomical.
I know.
Look back on 5-year difference, double what you bought it for is now doubled.
I know.
I mean, there's no tax-free savings account or RSP or anything that can
Oh,
give you those types of dividends.
So I agree 100%. And again, it's your primary residence. Guess what? You're good to go. That's money to, let's go to Tahiti. Hey, let's go to Tahiti with
my sunglasses.
and our
Just a account.
and our frisbee. Okay, we're all good. So what else you have?
Well, thought I'd have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Some of this is pretty standard stuff, but I got a little bit of personal stuff in there. I want to talk about some hills that I am willing to do.
Hills, okay.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar, an easy example would be someone who says pineapple does not belong on pizza. Right? I know that's the age-old argument, blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, you eat whatever makes you happy, right? But I'm telling you, if I go to your house that you invited me and you put pineapple on my pizza, well, then I'm going to have a personal opinion. But until then, you be happy. Put the pineapple on whatever you want. So some hills that I would like to die at, and this has come up at our Christmas episode between you and I, is Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay, we're right back to
I'm going to start off basic because I'm very passionate about that.
Okay.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer in you need to know the difference between reply and reply all.
Okay.
If you don't know the difference between reply and reply all, please close the laptop and walk away. Because sometimes you could go down a rabbit hole with all these people. You could be in trouble. Silly comments and remarks they make, and everybody in the office is reading this going, oh my God.
I know.
Now, this is a personal. Yeah, this is a personal thing. And again, you may differ. I know you love your sandals. I hate flip-flops.
Okay.
I don't believe them. I don't think they're practical footwear. The flopping, whatever. Have you ever seen people wear like the types of sandals that just basically go over the top of the foot and like they slip and their foot goes entirely through the flip-flop or the sandal and now it's on the back of their...
Yeah. Well, fashion trends. Yeah. I was reading fashion trends and the Jesus sandal,
Yeah.
Hey, they're supposed to be in this year.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, I had some flip-flops on last night.
Did you?
I was trying to get the boat going. Just kind of nice because when I get on there, they're just so easy to flip off.
I don't know. I know it's a silly thing. It's a personal opinion. I'd rather see you driving with a good shoe or just keep yourself safe. Stuff.
Okay.
All right. I got to tell you, Nickelback is awesome. Say what you want, but tell me you can't name 5 songs.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Tell me you could play all 5 songs at once and they all sound the same, though.
Okay. Fair argument. So they somewhat rock.
Now, I will say, when I saw them in St. John's, man, the place was nuts. They went out, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're Canadian. They're a rocking band. They do a great job on stage. But I'll tell you, I mean, the fans were loving them.
Absolutely.
Fans were loving them.
Here's the thing. I don't think you hate them. I think you hate that you love them.
No, yeah, here we go. The band everybody loves to hate. That's right. Here we go.
So, we are nationally accredited certification, and we're called a realtor. We are
capitals with
we
an
are-
R.
We are not a realtor.
Yeah, realtor.
There's no extra.
realtor.
We hear it all the time. Well, I'm calling my realtor.
Yeah.
We're
That sounds like Masters of the Universe. He-Man and watch it. Realtor's coming.
Realtor. Yeah. Anyway, that's a good one. Yeah. And I would just close by saying, we talked a lot about AI, And something that bothers me is all these personal AI enhanced photos,
Okay.
right? Of people in the professional,
yeah.
you know, it's, let's say a headshot, right? And, you know, a headshot that makes you look 30 years younger, or it's just blatantly obvious. You don't even have to know the person. Like that photo is doctored.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know it's the latest craze and all that good stuff, but tell me if I'm wrong, but would you hire a professional that's already lying to you? I know I'm going out on a limb here. I'm on that hill, the hill that I'm willing to die on.
Yeah.
I just, it,
I
it was
I
cute at first, but
Well,
needs to stop.
but here's the problem I have is that when you look at AI, and we've talked about this beforehand, at the end of the day, we do our best to make sure that what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's just that impression out there that is just so difficult to truly appreciate because, again, those that are coming to us as they are, they just, to me, it just holds so much more. It's sincere and, again, doesn't feel fake. And with us, again, the real of realtor. Yeah, okay. The real is the fact that with Team Somerville, what you see is what you get. So it's important.
I said my piece. You can address your hate mail to 71 Paradise Row.
Well, wait a moment here.
So mention flip flop hater.
Yeah, flip flop haters it is. And the funny thing is, again, we all probably have hills that we stand on, mountains that we stand on. But the one thing I will say is that when we look at real estate, there are things that we stand on as well. We're here to build relationships with clients. That doesn't mean we have to work with everybody, right? Why? Because again, we understand relationships are just that. It's about people getting together to work together, hopefully for the common good. And so again, understand one of my hills is the fact that again, I know how hard my team works. They're phenomenal. And again, so the one thing I will say is that when you're choosing your realtor or team of realtors, my hill to stand on is the fact that we have, and you know this, we have steps and processes in place that we try to do for everyone. And it's not always everything, but it is in our eyes the hill that we stand on to say, hey, guess what? We're offering this type of service because we know that this is what we'd want in return.
Absolutely.
You agree?
What you deserve.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Another hill I wish I could stand on, and it's just too high, is I should be on the boat every week. Every week. Now, but
He's dedicated to his clients.
that's right.
He's never showing home.
Well, see, again, I want to retire someday, and I've been doing this 27 years, so that means I've got another 59 years to do before I'm at that 86, like Walter there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But I tell you, when you're out on your boat, it's peaceful, it's tranquil, it's, yeah,
mhm.
this is why you do it.
Well,
You know.
another great episode. I'm hoping that everybody enjoyed what we had to say.
Yes, again, thank you for joining us. From all of us, I'm Michael.
And I'm Tim, and this has been Off the Market with Team Somerville.